What's up, guys? Wally back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to talk about another story time. Alright, because story time last time was pretty well received about the awkwardness of my life, and apparently that is something good to talk about. It's a good way for me to vent and let go of some of the cringy shit that has happened in my life. And today I want to talk to you about a train wreck, and who this train wreck is. Well, you may have guessed it, I am that train wreck. So this goes back to my senior summer. And senior summer, I had a job as a private swim instructor, but basically it was like glorified lifeguard, right? I basically put kids in the pool, move their arms around and fake their strokes, you know, like basically not like stroke, but like swim stroke. Obviously I'm not faking strokes. That's a bit above my acting capability, but it was pretty much just a chill job, and I got paid really well. I got paid like $15 an hour for it, and I worked all day, so I was making bank, you know what I mean? And generally, not all of the swim instructors at the pool are dudes, because some of the kids react better with females than they do with men. And when I was back in senior summer, I was like working out. I was this like lean 165 piece of muscle basically, and that's semi-intimidating, right? I'm not saying I'm intimidating, but to a little kid, when you see some like shredded dude, to some respect, like I think I'm playing my chops up a little too much here, but let's just say that if you were a little kid and you saw some muscular dude wearing, you know, just shorts on, you'd be a little intimidated, right? So that was sort of the issue. Some people went with chicks, and so my boss would hire out females that had the same capability that anyone else did to do the job, because kids would react better and she would lose business, you know, right? Good business strategy. Had to respect the lady for it. But the problem with this is workplace fraternization, right? And basically, and this is the problem once again, is that when you are in close proximity with people that aren't wearing too many clothes, it's an issue, right? I mean, I think I can talk about this because it's like going to the gym, a little bit different, obviously, because you wear more clothes at the gym. But like most of the time, if you're a chick, there's shredded dudes everywhere. And then there's the occasional bald guy that's trying to get in shape like me. But most of the time, there's shredded dudes everywhere. And then there's the people like trying to get in shape. And to some respect, it can be slightly intimidating for both the people trying to get in shape and for the chicks, because the dudes trying to get in shape are trying to look like the dudes in shape, and the chicks that are there are, you know, obviously they're working out, but they see good looking dudes, and then vice versa for the dudes, they see good looking chicks, and it's like, holy shit. So swim instructing is the same way, where like I'm wearing like, you know, shorts basically, just like board shorts or surf shorts, whatever, and the incredibly attractive females are just wearing like, you know, standard bikinis, because the pool was heated to like 80 degrees. And so you didn't need to wear like a wetsuit all day or anything like that. And this is like an issue. So occasionally, I'm not trying to be like freaky and creepy about this, but occasionally some flirting will happen, right? And there was a girl that was there, and she was a junior going to be a senior when she was working with us, and I was already going to college. So I was like, okay, like, you know, there's obviously a bit of conflict here, because I was always against dating low. I always wanted to date up, you know, like if I had an opportunity, if I was like 19 and I could date like a 23-year-old girl or something like that, that would be awesome, right? Little sugar mama. That's what I always wanted in my life. But sometimes, you know, little flirting happens and stuff like that. So this chick would, you know, occasionally flirt with me. She would take some shots at my shorts occasionally, and you know, when she was teaching other kids, she would always kind of make fun of me in that like cutesy kind of way, like, oh well, there's TJ, like you don't want to end up like TJ, he's a bad swimmer, you know. And I'd be like, whoa, what's with the shade, lady? What's that about? But then I was like, wait a minute, this is a strategy. This goes way back. She's a strategizer, and I like that. I do, because that's how I think. It's like, oh, you know, it's you whittle them down, more of attrition type thing. Like if you take enough shots and they're playful shots, you get the impression that maybe this chick is down for more than just taking shots, and maybe taking real shots, if you know what I mean, like alcohol. That's what I'm talking about. So little bit goes on. We continue to work for about a month, and summer only lasts for like 3 months, right? At least this time working season only lasts for like 3 months before I have to go back to college. And I only have 2 months left of summer, and I'm thinking like, well, dude, like if I don't, ask her now if she wants to go grab dinner or something, I'm not going to ask her ever. So I was like, okay, dude, I'm not going to be a little bitch. I'm just going to go ask her after work today. And I had been talking to my other female coworker who I went to school with in elementary school, and she was like a family friend. She knew my mom and everything, and I was talking to her like, okay, so how best do I do it? Because, it's always good to get advice from the female perspective, because as alpha as you think you are, and at the time, as dope, as I thought I was, it's always good to get that perspective from the opposite sex, because they know what's real, and they talk to each other. Surprisingly, I know, but they do talk to each other, and they do occasionally talk to each other about dudes, especially dudes that they may or may not be flirting with. So I was like, okay, like, would she be down? She's like, oh yeah, she's totally down. I'm like, okay, cool. So I was like, hey, we'll call her Brittany. That's not her name, but we'll call her Brittany. I was like, hey, Brittany. She drove a Mustang, one of those 2-door Mustangs, pretty cool. And I drove like a GMC Sierra, so we parked like right next to each other. And I was like, hey, Brittany, like, what's up? How you doing? She was with my coworker at the time, and she's like, oh my God, hey TJ, what's up? I was like, hey, I was curious, would it be too much to ask if you wanted to go maybe to dinner or a movie sometime? And then she hit me with, well, yeah, I'm down, but like summer's almost over. And I'm like, shit, I didn't prepare. What do I say now? Like, I was just expecting a yes, not some type of interaction here. I just wanted to say, yeah, let's go to dinner, let's go to a movie, not like, well, you got to convince me. Like, I don't know how to fucking convince you, lady. I don't know what to do. And I'm looking at the girl to her right, because that's my coworker who said that this was a guaranteed thing. And I'm like, the fuck? You said this was guaranteed? I didn't have to worry about it. So I was like, well, yeah, I know summer's almost over, and I know you're going to college, but I tried to throw some style on this one. I'm like, I think it would be a real mistake on my end if I didn't at least try to get to know you a little bit more before you left. And I thought that was really fucking smooth. I was like, damn, dude, I'm smooth as shit. Like, I could be the smoothest mother effer out there, right? And she's like, okay, yeah, we'll give it a shot. So she gave me her number, and then I was like, all right, cool. And instead of ending it, like I should have done, I should have just said, all right, I'll hit you up, I'll call you, and we figure something out. Instead of doing that, I was like, okay, this I'm a rocket. I just took off. How can I crash this motherfucker back into Earth? Like, how can I do that? I'm already heading to Mars. I'm like, see ya. I'll see ya. How can I come back down and just ruin everything with the cringiest joke ever? And instead of walking back to my car with a giddy smile on my face, I'm like, well, you know what they say about workplace coworkers, right? And she turns back and she's like, oh, what? And I'm like, oh shit, like I shouldn't have said it. I don't know. What do they say about workplace coworkers? And I'm like, well, they say that workplace fraternization is never good, and I was like, what the fuck? What? Why did I say that? Like the internal one inside me, your voice in your head was just like, done. He pieced out. He's like, I'm done. I'll see you, bro. You just blew it. And this girl was gorgeous, and I blew it because I tried to make a joke that was the cringiest shit. And I still get the cringe to this day. Like, to this day, I still get it. Like, I will wake up middle of the night, cold sweat, cringe. And I'm like, oh God, did I say that? Oh, that still happens to me. And it's rough. It's rough because there are no guarantees in life, right? And there's always that saying that, you miss 1,000 shots you never hit or never take, right? Michael Jordan. But you also miss every shot that you blatantly attempt to deflate the fucking ball. And that's what I did. So, yeah. My recommendation to you is that if you are opting for the opposite sex in any way, don't blow a guaranteed thing. Like, if you've already won the battle, right? If you've won the battle, don't try to win the war right there. Or don't go a little bit above and beyond. Take your winnings and deuce. It's like gambling. If you win, that's it. You're good. Just walk away and you try to win a little bit more another night. You ain't trying to win it all one night, all right? Or one day or one conversation. And I blew it, and the cringe was real. And I think I go down, in history to this chick as that one guy who was just a complete, utter social retard. So yeah. That's been my story about how I was a train wreck in the past. And a lot of these stories, if you haven't caught the theme yet, have to do with females. So, because it's not that it's funny, because it's not funny for me. It may be funny for you, but this is a better way for me to work through some of my angst and some of the things that have been eating at me since I've been a boy. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that story. I appreciate you guys' support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Taken by the words that you say.